Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 17 Week 1. The game was not satisfied by spoiling all the bans for me at the start of the replay, so now this game's replay starts after first pick. What the hell kind of spaghetti code is this? Taking a look at the White Joel Birch taking on Code Line, the Block of Cheddar taking on Split Push Sprouts, and with me once again is the Doctor of Dota, Randy.
Yes, I'm here.
I like the turnabout here. You had the last game.
What's
You
good
had
for you is good for me.
yeah, last game you had the split push routes start out with a bunch of bans on Dusty, and then the other team first pick Death Prophet. This time, Block of Cheddar starts out by banning out half anyway. Golden Dragon heroes, just 50-50 between Golden Dragon and Roxy, and then having Death Prophet picked against them. At the very least, Split Push Sprouts did a few good things in this draft. For example, you might have noticed in Game 1 they banned out the Abad, and this time they had first pick, so they didn't care. Changed it up, that's good. They banned out that Witch Doctor, which was a nightmare for them last time. That's good. I don't know why you're banning Timbersaw against Death Prophet. That's like one of the worst matchups in the entire game. That's like unplayable, ungodly. Imagine, if you will, a hero that can do physical damage to you that doesn't proc your passive over and over as Timbersaw. That's the reality you could have been living in.
Radiant team ban.
Yes.
See, Randy agrees. Puck also banned. Again, a lot of pressure on
He's
Dusty.
kind of banning the same stuff plus the Witch Doctor, so.
Well, Timber wasn't banned out in the first game either. I don't know if they got the Druid either. I don't think they killed his Druid. So they're banning the same person primarily, but for the most part, different heroes.
They did ban Druid in the first game.
Oh, they did? Never mind. Oh, you gotta question it a little bit. I mean, it's not. I don't think it would have tilted things, but I think it's kind of hard to run a pause 3 lone Druid in a meta that looks like this. He's not a guy that's...
Maybe they're picking Wraith King, that's why they banned Timbersaw.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, legitimately could be. Still pretty unplayable into DP, but
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds
could
remaining.
very well be. Ricky knocked out again. Once again, that Code Line Ricky respect ban, really showing the utter respect that White Joel Birch has for Code Line as a player. Gonna be bringing out the Jakiro, basically just the most generic support line you could possibly have, for at least for this patch on Block of Cheddar. Which isn't to say it's bad by any stretch of the imagination. Likely you're gonna see this exact duo in a lot of games this season. Just because it's just such a reliable combo. I mean, when is the bad Lion / Shakiro game? You know what I mean? Find one of those for me. DP Undying coming out. Not a bad combo. I mean, there's just going to be... If you love a screen that's cluttered full of crap every fight, here's a great combo for it of really 3 of these 4 heroes. Because you got the Death Prophet Exorcism, you've got the Undying Tombstone and the zombies, you got the Magnifier and the Ice Path laying down on the floor. So if you love crap, this game's got a lot of it for you. Now all you need is Block of Cheddar to run the Rubik and somebody to pick techies. And he really can fill the battlefield up. Maybe a Mars too. Sky's the limit. As a combo, I like the 2 characters on Split Push Sprouts, but they're definitely going to need a lot of control. They're going to need some good stuns to make this work. And I mean good AoE stuns to make this work. Because already this is looking distressingly like, if anybody has any mobility on Block of Cheddar, they can just Ice Path Death Prophet, or even just Hexer on Lion. They can just put down some ice on Radiant and just walk away. That's really Undying's biggest issue. If you don't have any stuns, if you see Undying, you just walk away. If you see Death Prophet, you just walk away, you know? Or you just TP away.
10 seconds.
Rubik complicates the TPing a little bit. You definitely could tee up some very good Exo plus Tombstone combos. It's gonna need Lion or Jakiro skills, though. I mean, that's not exactly a king's ransom. What do you think, Randy?
Yeah, well. Roxy Rubik.
Yeah,
Classic.
running it back. Worked fairly well for them the last game. Was a highlight in what was otherwise a pretty dismal experience, so...
Team pick.
Razor. Number 13. Razor. And yeah, this is kind of the exact reality I'm talking about here. Like, okay, so Exo comes out, and then Bloodseeker ruptures Death Prophet, and then everyone walks away from the DP, and then what? You know? Very strong combo of
10
heroes.
seconds remaining.
Both very mobile, both very aggressive, and both, I think, calibrated well to deal with the dire lineup here. Of course, you've got some very, like, high-risk spells to lose to Rubik. Like, if Rubik gets Rupture, whoever uses it on is very likely to die. Because, you know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander here. If you get Ruptured, if you get the extra long Rupture right in front of a Tombstone, what the hell are you going to do with your life? What the hell are you going to do with Drow Ranger in this game? What the hell? That's not good. Randy, you played some Drow Ranger in your time, right?
10 seconds.
So there's a high mobility melee carry for mid, I guess. It's Coffee Cat probably, so it's a carry. There's a high mobility hero that steals your damage, and you have low mobility. There's a blink stun support, and there's a long reach support.
Yeah, this
doesn't
is
care about your
Radiant
like
team banned.
existence.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird draw game. I don't know.
Yeah, this is one of the worst looking Drow games I've ever seen. This is bowling shoe ugly, as you might say. There was, I mean, it's pretty hard. What do you pick into this? If you're a puzzle player, what do you pick into this?
5 seconds remaining.
You pick Slark and you hope you ult before you get leashed. I think that's it.
Dire team banned.
You pick Slark and you have everybody on your team build Lotus Orbs. There, that's the actual answer. I think that's really the only answer at this juncture. And you still have things to worry about. You still have Razor's Hula Hoop, you still have Bloodseeker's AoE Silence, you still have Jakiro's crap on the floor, you still have Lion's crap on the floor.
5 seconds
But,
remaining.
at the very least, you can get past some of that damage. You can deal some damage. I don't really think Drow does anything here. Not anything at all. Well, no, that's not true. I think Drow dies a lot here. I think that's about it.
10 seconds remaining.
Has a good support in the Undying,
5 seconds.
as far as
remaining.
keeping her alive. Assuming they're landing together, which would be Roxy Undying. Has a good support in the form of the Undying. Has a Death Prophet, which is going to take up a lot of capacity. We're going to be running the Pit Lord back here. This is... Okay, so you remember everything I just said about Drow Ranger? About how this is not the Drow Ranger game?
10 seconds.
Really? It's like no mobility in a Bloodseeker. Kind of weird.
It's about the same thing going on for Pit Lord. I mean, I really don't get it here at all.
No mobility into a Bloodseeker Razor lineup. This is very, very strange.
No mobility and
already.
really not much counter mobility. I mean, your Pit Lord, your Pit is going to hit Bloodseeker once, maybe. Your total stun time on this team is like, you get 2 or maybe 2.5 seconds of stun on whoever Rubik drops into the pit, basically. That's basically it. Rubik Pit Lord, by the way, is an awesome combo. It's one you never see even close to enough. And I guess, in theory, Bloodseeker versus Pitlord is not as bad as it used to be for Pitlord. Bloodseeker no longer has that that nice percentile damage on his shard, so he can't just get shard and eat you anymore. But you are just food for him when he gets sags. You don't do anything to Razor. Ironically, Broodmother into Pitlord is just terrible, so at least there's that. Broodmother in general in this game does not look too great, but I don't really know if that matters at all. I think there's such a deficit in the rest of the draft compared to that Dusty probably could have picked, like, I don't know, Dusty could have picked the Satyr that has the throwing sphere and probably would have still had a draft advantage in this game. This looks rough.
Like core IO.
Yeah, there we go. Dusty could have done pause 3 IO in this game and I think still had an advantage. Awkwardly long wait here. There we go. Alright, I skipped all the way to the Dyer's intro and nobody even showed up. And there we go. That gets us sort of more into things. Yeah, I don't know. Is that Ags? Yeah, that Ag still does
30 seconds
that Ag
to
still
battle.
does a bit of percentile damage. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This looks terrible. You know, when they had that scrim, I thought at the very least the picks on the Code Line team for things that went wrong. The picks on the team were
The battle
not
begins.
really looking like big issues. Oh, Roxy won the right-click contest against Joel. I guess that's what happens when you live in the United States and play on US East. But, you know, the drafts were not bad. It feels like the drafts have gotten worse since that scrim. I don't know.
Don't die, my darling.
Don't die, my darlings. Like, especially the big final pick, the Pit Lord. I don't know. This really doesn't do anything to me, or do anything for me. Doesn't do anything to these guys. You know. Once again, running with the same exact starting item build. At least in this game, there's more magic damage on his team to benefit from it, and at least in this game, there's going. Well, no, we're really kind of still the same amount, but at the very least in this game, there's not as much magic damage on the enemy team to make dealing with that quite such a major necessity. Pages is going to get shot in the back. Something else. What do you think about this lane, Randy? What do you think of the Broodmother versus Drow lane? From a Drow perspective.
This kind of chill. Like, nobody does anything to anyone.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was looking at it. I think this is a situation where there is going to be kill pressure, maybe, but I mean, you got the Undying though. They've actually swapped the lanes up here. It's Pages and the safe lane on the Undying, but you're gonna have kind of infrequent kill pressure, I think. Mostly on the supports. Once the Gust comes out in particular, it's gonna be a little hard to like get anything done. But you're not gonna kill Brood either. I mean, well, that's not true. You can try and kill Brood, but you're just gonna run out of HP doing that. So that's your major way to get a kill as Brood in this lane. Is just hope Drow decides to try and Gust and man fight you. It's getting some good last hits at least. Told to look at top at level 3 by an anonymous source. So I believe that's what we'll do. I don't know whose level 3 it is, it was just level 3. When level 3 happens, everybody check your clock. and set it to level 3. Was that it? Was it whatever made Dusty go, aww? We must now see. No, that was just him getting stunned, so probably not.
Radiant's courier has been
Oh,
killed.
goodbye, Joel's courier. That's unfortunate. Actually, almost took a dive there. He almost took a dive and then said you were dead.
Dead.
Yeah, that's true. Kenny is on top of things over at mid. Okay, shown. Not looking. Oh, code line. Code line. You gotta be. You gotta be respectful
Mobility.
of the fact that a big stinking spider is in your face. You cannot just stop and ignore that and just keep firing. The mobility wasn't the problem. The inability to chase wasn't the problem. The problem was that Drow was sitting there trying to take bot shots at the support while a big scary spider was just right in her face. Mandibles out. Joel looking real dead here. It's very worrying. Oh man, actually ran by the creep wave. Ooh!
Yeah, plays right around the Rosie there a little bit.
This is interesting. Feels like this is an awesome opportunity for Death Prophet to just go. Like, just try to dive that tower, go for an E there. Of course, not like Razor's going to be doing really anything much with like 60 HP, but you know how it goes. Oh no, it's level 3. I might have missed something. All right, whatever this is going to be, it better be the funniest goddamn thing I've ever seen. This is a pain in the ass to watch this and not miss things. No, that range creep, that was the funny thing. That was the hilarity. The range creep got eaten. Man, Dusty playing inventory Jenga over here. Has a total of 7 of all stats. Oh, double stun by the lion there. What's going on? What is the funny thing? I mean, level 3 still has a long time to go. Double Q there. The Undying just shy of enough mana here. Really feels like this would be a good lane for that Undying to have a stick. I mean, you know these guys are going to be constantly spamming skills all the time. 2 guys who just hit buttons off cooldown. Am I being pranked? Randy, are we being pranked?
Oh, I don't know, maybe. I think you can get away with buying a stick in every game, honestly, unless it's like
Probably.
obviously trash. Like 98% of games, I guess. Get him.
This is slightly
Get him,
unfortunate.
Kenny. Bam!
Joel actually saw Kenny's position on the thirst there. Saw where he was thanks to the Bloodseeker passive and did not respect it. Just had no respect. Maybe he was waiting for the hula hoop to come off a cooldown, which in fairness also would have been a kill. And the code line just took about a third of his HP and 2 buttons. God damn it, I'm missing things in other lanes. This is a simple, bad situation. Like, these guys really cannot exist against this lane. This is horrible. Well, Lion stopped mana draining. If level 3 ends and nothing funny's happened, I'm gonna lodge a complaint. And that was kind of funny. Lion missed a stun.
Lion missed a stun. Lion doesn't have a stun. Is he a great lane?
That's true. Lane and Leon. Savo going for the Lotus here. Gets it, but at what cost?
Cost of dribble.
Chone is getting going own.
this funny? Undying kills people with Tomb.
That's hilarious.
Guess that's amusing.
That better not have been when I was told to watch the top at level 3.
It kinda happens in every Undying lane though.
That was what I was supposed to see. There's gonna be a lawsuit coming down. I missed 3 kills trying to find that. The Veil of Discord coming out on the Pit Lord now. Or at least he's laning with the Rubik this time. He's going to get the Wisdom as well. He is laning with the Rubik this time, which means at the very least he's going to be able to get the Fate Bolt. Okay, missing a gank at top. I know, we're missing Chone running in to take a bullet for Joel mid, is what we're actually missing. This lane is going pretty rough for Razor so far. He's keeping somewhat competitive on the last hits, but he's 0-1. He rotated a guy to lane just to, watch him die to the first EXO. It's not great. At the very least, he didn't lose the T1 on the first EXO. Like, that would have just been abominable. Alright. Code line, forgot that you don't melee attack things with Drow. Dusty does not care about this Drow guy at all. Dusty could not give less of a hoot right now, actually. Okay, we got a Rupture going on, taking it to T2s here. Rupture going on. Razor actually showed up for this, which means that Kitty Lavender TPing out for it is actually not really wasting any time at all. Though, sadly, Roxy Roro burns to death from the dual breath. That is very unfortunate.
Dire's courier has been killed. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Okay. It's a nice situation. I mean, this is really the upside you get with the Tombstone and Drow. Unfortunately, Undying is going to go down there. In a situation where it's very ideal to just keep beating up on Drow. Kind of hard to get past the Tombstone unless you just kind of like stand there and don't even start trying to leave until the Tombstone and Undying are already dead. Okay, Coffee Cat looking a little bad here. Looking a little low. I'm sure it's not going to be up for a minute, so that option is not going to be there, but it's going to be ultimately fine. Ice Path just splits them right down the middle. Okay.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Undying is now in the bot lane. Starts things off right with the. Why is the Tombstone still on cooldown? When was this used? Was that just still at top? Was that recently enough? It's 90 seconds, I guess, maybe. Okay, well, this sucks.
Bit unfortunate.
Patience came bot to eat the second Rupture.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh no, line. Oh no. Okay, the Gust, but level 5 versus 7, who wins? DPTP's here with the EXO and doesn't get to do anything except watch the guy run away. Drow has reached that support net worth again. Oh no, I feel like, well, as Ocelot would say, I hate sequels. This game is starting out very much the same way. Once again, Corv on the Radiant are really just having a great time. They're all slightly below where the DP is. Okay, this is maybe not the best go for the Brewmother. What exactly do you think Brewmother's going to do to a Pit Lord with level 3 Atrophy Aura and the armor from Veil of Discord? The answer is no damage. Staying here a little awkwardly long. They don't really seem to want to actually kill her, though, which I guess is a symptom of having basically no stuns on your team. You really have just the telekinesis, and the telekinesis is a bot, so this is just awkward. Like,
I
just
mentioned,
do
I
something
mentioned
related.
they had no mobility against Bloodseeker Razor. Now they have no mobility against Bloodseeker Razor Brood.
That's
Even
true.
better.
Oh no. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. Well, that would have been really funny, but... Oh, mama.
Radiant's
Dusty
middle tower
literally
is
just
under
walked
attack.
right past these guys and just got to do that. Like,
Radiant's
just
middle
don't
tower
stay here. Like, just don't. Nobody should be here right now, except maybe the Pit Lord. Like, the Pit Lord can do just this, and like, there's no problem. I mean, that's unfortunate. Like, hypothetically, maybe Brood could, like, I mean, like, look at this. This is no damage at all. Okay, it's starting to actually become damage. Never mind. But even that was like after 5 minutes of walking, and having the Q off of cooldown means that she doesn't even get to get that far. Okay, let's see that happening. Let's leave Pit Lord in this lane. Okay. Unfortunate spot for Kenny Lavender to be, that's for sure. Just in the middle of a field of pain, field of dreams. All those things on the ground I was talking about earlier. Just, coming out at once, and Roxy Roro gets pointed at and dies. Randy, you're a doctor, right?
No, sorry, I gave up my medical license between games.
What happened? Can we get a reason why, an official reason?
Dire's bottom tower is under
I pissed off a guy. You came to the office looking for like an exam.
Dire's structures
I, like
are
shoved a thermometer up his ass or whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what happens in that arc.
Yeah, that is pretty much what happens, and it was a police officer.
Yeah,
Shoved
yeah,
a thermometer
Dire's
up
middle
a
And then
place
he,
so
uh,
you can.
under attack.
He caught my stash of fucking aspirins in the back when he pulled
Yeah.
me over afterwards.
You got your perks. Oh, this is awkward. This is so awkward. Sean's positioning here uphill
Dire's bottom
made this a real pain, but Coffee Cat actually just melted in really short order here, which is nice. It's showing at the very least these guys are not invincible. Kenny Lavender coming from the back for the old cleanup duty. Ugh, okay. Ah, that was a really good spell steal turnaround there. Dyer lost T1 for that, but they are not crying themselves to sleep anytime soon. 1,000 gold changes hands. Drow's just farming, just completely untouched while this is happening. Everything is good in the world. What was that? Oh my god, this is full HP. Half of Paige's HP just came off to one max distance hula hoop. You got it. It's just pain.
It's a rough one.
It is just pain being any of the dire supports in this game. Somebody DM'd me who was actually not involved in this game saying Pages is going to need therapy after this one, and you can see it with things like that happening. Bitlord has got a vitality booster in his quick buy. Why?
is under attack.
What else has he got? Vanguard, I assume? Yeah. Vanguard will actually help quite a bit here for quite a while. Will stymie a lot of what Razor does, unless he has a billion damage queued up, which he hasn't really got so far. Will just be another source of armor, make it hard for the spiderlings to do things. Make Brood less of an, over-present threat. Even gonna be good against Bloodseeker until the Axe comes out, but like, once the Bloodseeker Axe comes out, he's just gone. Do you still get shard on this guy as soon as possible? I don't think so. The nerf to this thing hurt a lot. I don't know if it necessarily is going to matter.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I don't think we need to go back to figure out how Sabo died. I think we can kind of assume. They're a little hesitant about running into the Exo here. Seems like they can't figure out whether they want to go in or not on Block of Cheddar. Coffee Cat was very excited to try and make it go there. Joel really was not so much. That would have been funny if he had gotten away with it. Once again, 2-for-0 trade on the part of Block of Cheddar. Or against Block of Cheddar, on the part of the split push sprouts. And again, the entire time, Drow, wherever she is just... Oh no. Oh, code line. Oh my god, okay.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Whew! Well, that would have been embarrassing! But the entire time, code line only competing with creeps to get what he wants done. Okay. This is... You know, this is a good matchup, but not if Pillord is sitting there at literally 0 HP, I don't think. Pulling in a hell of a lot to try and do something about Dusty here. This is such an ambitious revenge kill. So not happening. I mean, that's really the sad thing at the end of the day. Here's just the simple fact of the matter. Silence is not enough. If they want to actually get Dusty in this game, like anything that looks like consistently, okay, they did get a good go there, but I think that was perhaps the misplay of sort of giving it to them. Okay, good Rubik Lion stun there.
That was a stick stun. Okay.
Yep, came out. That completely turned around at least the initial go on the part of the split push routes, or on the part of the Block of Cheddar. Again, just getting them backwards here because they were the opposite faction last time. Oh no. Okay, that wasn't a TP, that was just Undying getting pinged. It was a good stun. Didn't mean that much, but I guess losing at this point in the game, when your net worth throw looks like this, losing your 2 supports to prevent any further leakage isn't too bad. Oh, Shone's got that royal jelly. Man, you know, when I read the patch notes and I saw royal jelly was back, I almost immediately uninstalled, but at least they had the good decency, the good sense to make it basically a completely different item.
Make it fucking useless, yeah.
Okay, Dusty is very brave for this one. He is likely to get away with it, at least. That,
You're just playing the Vex Brood Mother, right? Like you're
the EXO.
Coffee Cat's
really
forming
slow.
midwave, and like a bunch of heroes are here and hitting ults.
Dusty is gonna be so pissed when he hears you say that's the Vex Brood Mother.
It is. That's what he does.
Right,
He
I'm
literally
not.
sits in
I'm not
in
the
one lane the
fucking
entire
Vex
game.
Brood Mother. All right, the Vex Brood Mother is cringe. All right.
He sits in one lane the entire game, baiting these crazy 5-man responses from teams that don't communicate well. Like, that's the Vex Brood 101. Like, if 5 people are killing Vex in top lane, he's like running around and takes an hour.
Well,
Meanwhile, his carries farming, his other heroes are doing shit. Like,
kill secured.
Vex.
All right, now that
3
we
people
saw,
died in 3 lanes, I'm pretty sure.
now that we saw that happen, let's see what was going on the other side of the world. Oh, this is just, man, Codeline just getting straight up run over here. I mean, this is just, like, I mean, he had a haste rune here on the Razor, but this is just like a Y matchup. Alright, who's the next one to die? Oh, it's just Brood Mother. Brood Mother problems.
To catch me.
I mean, again, just like I said, just I think the draft deficit here is just enormous, unfortunately. It's just so hard to have anything that looks like a game. And I think unfortunately, most of the upsides that that split push sprouts have gotten in this game have come from moments where you have a moment of weakness for Block of Cheddar, right? Does not feel like they've been able to find any holes themselves, which, I mean, how do you? How do you when your Pause 1 can't play this game? How do you when, okay. Gonna maybe get the lion here? Nope, just too much crap to throw on the ground. How do you when you just, you know, have Broodmother walk away from the Exo? I mean, look at this! Oh, is not even gonna die for that. Sabo got to do that and walk away. That's this game. And by the way, while that was happening, goodbye top T2 for literally free with no resistance.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
There's some good individual plays here on the part of the split push routes. That's certainly hard to argue. But, okay, Razor is going cuckoo bananas thinking this is happening. Well, his team is coming in behind him now. But he's gonna almost certainly, if he lives this, it's a Christmas miracle. No way. Oh my god, he got away with it! Line is here! Why? No, Line, no! Oh my god. He got away with it, Randy. Randy, he got away with it.
Dire's middle tower is under
Yeah.
Randy, can you at least give unqualified medical advice at this point?
No, there's no advice here. You need pull the plug.
Damn. Well, let's say maybe on sort of a strategic level, like, okay, so these guys are, unfortunately, they're going to have to amputate today. You know, what do we do to not end up here tomorrow?
I don't know, honestly. I mean...
Yeah, that's not very nice. I mean, here's a start
I'm
for
not
me.
sure how to come back from a draft like this, CH.
Oh no, I mean like, what in the future?
Next draft, eh?
Yeah.
Don't draft Drow Ranger into heroes that need mobility to counter.
Yeah, I mean
guess.
there's that. I think Lion's drafts for himself in these last two games were really bad. Like his own hero, I mean, just in neither game did it feel like he could ever have any impact. You know, that's even worse than the last one, I would say. Like if he was here on the net worth charts right now, it would not feel like it. And he's just like, I mean, he's lower than the Rubik. He's almost down to where the Undying is. It's getting very, very rough. Lion knows exactly where Joel is. Joel knows exactly where Lion is, rather.
For the twins.
And is going for it. Lion thinks he wins this 1v1. Honestly, I don't think he's even wrong to think that. But unfortunately, Drow is not at this particular camp. This is the, you know that meme of like the guy mining for diamonds and then he like turns around right before he gets to it?
Yeah.
That's what Cho just experienced. Okay, and once again, okay, yeah, this is super bad for Broodmother. You're at the top of the net worth charts. That's a big kill, actually. Just kinda walks into 5. Everyone's taking a bath in the Macropire, though. I mean, on paper, a pause 3 for a pause 3 is a linear trade, but that's the top net worth core in the game for the second bottom net worth core, so... It's a bit more nuance to it than that, yeah. One team got 149 gold for that, another team got 1,296. Nearly 10 times the amount of gold. Also put the block of Cheddar into an awkward position here. At the very least, if nothing else, Coffee Cat is just casually... Code Line, no. Code Line! Line, you're not going to do anything in the world where you have items in this game. What are you doing standing by battles that are happening when you have nothing? I don't care how bad you think this is going to go. You don't do anything here but die. A good start, though. He's got Dusty again! 2 times in a row, they just knock him over like it means nothing. And in the reality where anybody has any actual ability to catch Razor, this looks pretty good, but at least Kenny can keep up with him, I guess. As the has the active from the oh, no way he gets away with this. I can't believe it.
Goodbye.
Oh, no.
See you around.
Oh, no, this is... Also, I believe that's the BKB reveal for Coffee Cat. I haven't heard of BKB yet. Yep.
Dire's top tower is under
BKB reveal for Coffee Cat. You probably want more than a support for that, but should be a lot worse, I guess. Avigat, of course, and the Bloodseeker. If you're not paying attention at home. Pitlord says, "Oh, thanks, I'm out." That actually would have been an awesome place for everybody on the Radiant to go. They would have just gone right to the creep wave at top and found Code Line there. That would have been a nightmare. Hey, Jakiro has 2 healing salves. Who forgot they fell on their ankle today and just tried to turn it in a way that it should not have been? Not me. That didn't hurt at all. They think about doing Tormentor. They think about not doing Tormentor. Okay. Slightly unfortunate. Golden Dragon sitting on a bit of moolah at this point. I mean, I'll be blunt enough to say, at this juncture, from where you're playing, buyback means nothing. Look at where you are compared to the enemy cores. Look at what you bring to the table in this game. I think you would really much rather just spend this money and be done with it. Maybe he's not keeping that close of an eye on it, in fairness. We're just gonna go down here. Radiant scan where absolutely nobody is. And Bloodseeker takes the Aegis, which is probably for the best. I mean, Dusty did just die 2 times in a row out of nowhere, but Bloodseeker is probably reasonably the most mortal character on this team, and having that Aegis will let him go further and perhaps make sure his friends don't meet their untimely demise. Bringing something on Courier, probably. Oh, he's bringing Mjolnir on Courier, okay. The Yasha is a for fun Yasha, you know? Like a Cheddar, not exactly cohesive on the idea of what to do now. 2 people walk up to the T3 top, 2 people walk to the mid lane.
Is a great conductor.
I think really, arguably, the top was the better strategy here. If you can get that T3 top, it really puts a lot of pressure on Code Line. You know, stops a lot of that easy access. I mean, it's not like it's that safe now, but it really stops his access to the GG jungle. Oh, Kitty Lavender reflected the Finger of Death to the Lotus Orb.
Damn.
And yeah, I mean, Bloodseeker just going ham on everything here. Just killing everyone. That was Undying that Lotus Orb. Good job, Undying. Buybacks are flying out, but at this point, it's I don't know. It's a little hard to see why they would even need to respect these buybacks particularly much. I mean, this is where your pit lord's at this point. The first life of the Bloodseeker, they actually did not quite get the pit lord down all the way. They're actually gonna have to back. It's rather unfortunate for Block of Cheddar. I think they would have much preferred to just kind of stay in there, finish the job, but. I think when they just were not able to actually off the pit lord, that was just kind of that for that push. When he managed to creep away, it's like, okay, get back, regroup, maybe wait for Lion. Kenny getting a little big for his britches coming out right now. Bloodseeker did wait to get the shard after all, which is probably a good play. No, it's not like necessarily like this is bad, but I mean, that's not much. That's not much damage, even if it is pure, is it? Really feel like the Axis game's a better go. What do you think, Randy? You've been awfully quiet back there. You've been making me worry.
For what hero?
Bloodseeker.
Sorry, I was sneezing. Bloodseeker. I don't know. I don't know my Bloodseeker build in 2024.
Oh, there we go. So the answer is, for the record, quote, I don't know. Don't panic, Vitruvius.
Guess S and Y is fine.
Hey, there we go. Well, what I was saying is, I think you would rather get an early Ags than the Shard this game. Really reasonably
Right.
most games. I don't know if this Shard is one you get now, outside of if you've already got 4 other Shards off Tormentor, but, you know. And now we wait.
Wait. Really? We're waiting in this game, alright. Interesting decision.
We're no longer waiting in this game. That's just tearing up Ancient Camp over here. Should really be telling that it was not 10 minutes ago that Dusty just died 2 times in a row, and he's still the top net worth of the entire server, still 5k ahead of anybody on the Dire. Bitlord has picked up this Rod of Atos. Not the most ideal situation. I feel like Rod of Atos is one of those Bitlord items that you would just much rather not have to buy it, but in a game where you have almost no CC at all, you kinda need it.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Especially on a team where you have almost no CC at all, and you're facing Bloodseeker, and you're facing Razor, and you're facing Broodmother.
Dire's
Is
bottom
unfortunately,
tower
I think,
is
necessary. Oh, Drow. Okay, gonna get the Glimmer Cape out. Invisibility is, of course, invincibility. Kenny Lavender steps on a Lego, and that gets him stunned. Was that the BKB reveal for Broodmother? It was, yes. Actually looking pretty bad. Broodmother actually likely about to die. Not how you want to use your first BKB, but I mean, it's well worth it if the DP
Not fun,
dies, and
okay.
also the Pit Lord dies, and also your Drow dies,
Also,
and
ones,
everybody dies. Of course, once again, lots of buybacks coming out.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Lion stuns himself off the Lotus Orb,
Are fortified.
and then he dies.
Dire's top
The hell with him.
are under attack.
Razor going to make some space for Broodmother to hopefully, anyway, get rid of this
Top barracks are under
last Rex up at top.
Dire's top barracks is falling.
This could be super bad, but unfortunately, invincibility is invisibility. Or the other way around, I forget how it goes. He's gonna be so mad when he hears you say the Vex Broodmother, dude. He's not gonna be happy. It's cringe is what it is.
That's why I said it.
There we go. Of course. That must be it. You know, we'll be nice and say that's why you did it.
I'm gonna try to piss Dusty off, you know? It's like being
Yeah.
it's not being nice.
Dire's middle tower is under
The nice version is that I didn't know.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, it's nice for you. It's like, you know, sometimes people do something in these replays and we're like, yeah, we'll assume that was intentional, so we'll assume you're intentionally trying to anger Dusty. Ripped this tombstone. Oh,
Why is this game still going? Like, come
good
on.
question.
Got shit to do on my Sunday night, you know?
Hero has that axe we saw revealed in that last fight, but if you didn't notice it, it was out there. It's actually a really nasty thing. I mean, this team already is in such a massive mobility disadvantage. Now add 2 more ice paths onto the field in every fight, and they last longer. Not great. Not great. Again, Coffee Cat just sitting creeps. Coffee Cat has actually become first place net worth chart, and not because Broodmother fell. He is getting pretty dangerously close to 3 times Drow's net worth. Let's say about 1,300 more gold. $1,300, 13,000 more gold. Deficit is hard to ignore. And down goes the Pit Lord there. If we take a look at the buyback chart here, we can see only a Jakiro can buy back at this point. Well, Pit Lord will be able to buy back in 11. Well, he would hypothetically be able to buy back in 11 anyway, had he 200 more gold. Buybacks are coming out for the Dire, but they're nobody can afford any of them at this point. To anybody who would be wondering why you would not choose to put somebody in the grave in a game that looks like this, that would be why. Bloodseeker's actually going to explode, though. That's a monster kill. But speaking of people exploding, so too does the Death Prophet. Good Rod of Atos usage there, but they're ignoring the Drow. Drow means so little to them, they're just ignoring her. Rep Lion. These guys are actually getting ejected out of the base, huh? That was a good Manta dodge.
Defense to the death here in this game for some reason.
And death comes eventually.
But what a bitter defense. The most useless one ever.
Well, good luck in season, guys. You can say that much. I mean, it's an unfortunate fact of reality that if you're the underdog team for one reason or another, I don't think you can skimp out on the drafts. You have to have good drafts, and you have to draft, unfortunately, invariably, I believe, you have to draft in order to cover up and protect your weaknesses, and I just don't really think that came out of the split push sprouts in this entire series. I think Code Line was sitting on heroes that are just woefully out of his ideal situation. Like, I know it was the first hero he really played in this role, but like Drow Ranger and Code Line just don't go well together. I don't know. Certainly did not look like it went well together here. You know, somebody for whom life is a very valuable resource does not want to end the game 1, 8, and 2. You know what I mean? Feels like a bad miscast on the Drow Ranger here. On the oh, what was he in game 1? I've already forgotten. On the anti-mage in game 1, yes. Another bad miscast. I think Line would definitely be a lot more suited for more fighting ones. So these two heroes are definitely miscasts on him. The Pit Lord in game 2 was a big question mark that went basically as I expected it to. I'll give you a hint. If you're in a game as a hero that gets 35% off of everybody's auto attack on the enemy team, that reduces their damage, and you have a negative KDA, not negative KD, but negative KDA at the end of the team, you picked this hero in the wrong game. I don't know. I think this was a draft calamity. I think these guys were already not favored, but like the scrim showed they could be at least potentially, if the issues that they had in that week were resolved, they had at least a fighting chance against this team, but I feel like they deprived themselves of that with the draft. I don't know. What do you think, Randy?
Terrible draw game. I don't know how it's remotely playable.
If you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 on a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg today to sign up. It's too late to get into this season, but it is certainly not too late to stand in, as we are already seeing plenty of stand-in notifications flying around everywhere. And with that all being said, we will see you next time for probably the second set of games if you're hearing this.